Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Dom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. I hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. But this is episode 156, man. Episode 156, and we're live. We're kicking it. I hope you all had a good week. Hope everybody is doing well. Um, we're pretty much well into the new year, man. We are cranking through January, so got a pretty stacked show for you guys here this week. We're gonna talk uh weekly recap stuff. We're gonna talk what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, and then we're gonna get into some reactions and reviews like usual. So, let's get it, baby. Let's talk weekly recap stuff. Let's go over the last week or so, and then we'll talk. We'll talk, my friends. So, kicking off on Tuesday, we actually put out our December 2023 Patreon appreciation. So that's live on all of our socials. If you missed that, definitely go check that out and go show that a lot of love. And huge shout out to our Music Mondays Patreons, man. You guys are amazing. We'll have an announcement for you guys relatively soon. We're going to talk a little bit more about Patreon stuff later in the show. But December 2023 appreciation is available everywhere, so definitely go check that out and go show that some love, my friends. Let's see. So that was on Tuesday of last week, so that takes us to Wednesday because SoundCloud Sunday submissions open on Wednesday, and then Thursday, we put out a brand new YouTube upload. Last week we spoke about the top 3 social medias in the 2024 climate and environment, and which social medias you should be focusing on as a independent creator. So if you missed that segment, definitely go check that out. That's available on our channel right now. And huge shout out to everybody that's showing love to the channel, man. The channel has been getting a lot of love lately, so huge shout out to the YouTube crew and everybody who shows our uploads love, man. You guys are amazing. But yeah, top 3 social media platforms in 2024 upload is available right now on our channel, so definitely go check that out and go show that a little bit of love. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man, because we're closing in on 250 really quick. I think we're at like 246 already, so about halfway to 500, man. About halfway to 500, so I'm definitely excited. So yeah, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Let's see, so that was Thursday. That takes us all the way into Friday. And Friday we dropped a brand new article that was co-written by Arctic and Raylo, 2 Music Monday staff writers, very, very talented. And we interviewed Hitbox. For those of you that don't know, a very, very talented duo known as Hitbox. Took some time to sit down with us, and you should definitely go fucking read that piece because that's a stacked one. That's definitely a stacked one. So huge shout out to Hitbox and huge shout out to Ray and Arctic for putting that together. And of course, definitely go check out everything on the Music Mondays website, man. We have hundreds of articles over there spanning over the course of 2023 and now heading into 2024. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Okay, so that was Friday. So pulling up into Saturday, episode 155 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms, including our YouTube channel. But huge shout out to everybody that takes us on the go wherever you are. So if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, if you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, man, huge shout out to you guys for taking us on the go. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that runs up the YouTube side of things as well, man. So definitely go check out episode 155, and huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through. That was on Saturday. Taking us into Sunday, we have SoundCloud Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday Volume 117 is available right now. That was curated by myself and Music Monday staff curator Waterfalls. Another stacked volume, my friends. Another stacked volume is out now. We're slowly closing in on 120, which is actually fucking crazy. I think that's really sick. I think that's really, really sick. So definitely excited to hit 120, and definitely excited for the future of SoundCloud Sunday. So, huge shout out to Water again, though, by the way. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted and showed love. If you're ever interested in submitting for SoundCloud Sunday, Submissions open every single Wednesday, so make sure you get your submissions in and make sure you keep your eyes peeled. But volume 117 is available right now, so definitely go check that out. Share that with your friends. You guys know the drill, man. But if you don't, get hit. But that takes us all the way into Monday. So here we are. We're live. We're chilling. This is episode 156 of the Music Mondays podcast, and boy, do we have a stacked show for you guys. So, let's see what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Lots of readjusting for the new year. I think we're gonna really just dial up and focus on like our main bigger pieces of content. I was kind of thinking about some of our writing and things like that. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get articles out more consistently. I mean, we already do have them out pretty consistently, but I want to be able to get to the point where we have like 2 articles per week rather than just one. Because you guys know the drill, we usually have one every single week. Well, we do, not usually. But articles drop every single Friday, and I definitely want to get to the point where we're dropping at least twice a week and things like that. So expect a frequent upgrade in how much we drop for writing and things like that. So a couple of content changes coming that are very positive, and I'm very excited about. But per usual, we have kind of like 3 bigger projects on the table right now. The first one being Music Mondays merch. That was something that I touched on a little bit last week, and this week I'm finally making some progress with that. So you should see a little bit of a teaser and a little bit of an announcement coming relatively soon. I would say before the end of the month, just because we have to get like media and things like that organized for like a proper announcement. But expect that to come very soon, because that's really what's been taking up the majority of my time when it comes down to Music Mondays. And then of course keeping the staff on track with pretty much everything that they have to do. So really the new year, like I said, is a big lockdown process, and to make sure that everybody's, you know, staying consistent and we're really like staying on top of content, right? So I want 2024 to be like not only like a repeat of last year, because last year was really good, but I want us to continue to improve and upgrade things, right? So expect us to definitely improve not only just quality but quantity as well. But of course, that all comes with time, right? That's not something that just spawns out of thin air. So yeah, those are like a couple big things that are taking up some space right now as far as that goes. And then we're gonna start looking at Cyberfest 2 stuff, and I think 1 or 2 kind of social media refreshes are in order. I definitely want to get a new intro video for the stream, like the one you see on screen right now. There's a couple of things I want to do as far as that goes. So you'll see a lot of refreshes as we kind of finish off the month and complete January. But a lot of major projects are at the forefront right now. So I'm not really concerned with a lot of our smaller stuff, because we usually have that on lock anyway, right? Things like our playlists, written pieces, YouTube uploads, those are always consistent, and those are always a constant, so you can always count on those. But we have a lot of like bigger projects at hand that I think the community is really gonna love. That's kind of like where all the attention has been going as far as that goes. But everything is relatively the same. We're gonna keep at our same pace, but also, like I said, kind of switch gears a little bit and try to up the quantity as far as what we have going on in Music Mondays. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for this month, and I'm definitely excited to like really hunker down on certain things. So the next couple of weeks is going to be very telling. So with that said, make sure you're following us on socials for any like super important announcements, and usually you can come to the show for any like weekly updates, right? That's why we have the weekly recap, because certain people kind of miss certain things. So when it comes to the weekly recap, that's why that's important. But yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled, because a lot of fun stuff is coming in this first quarter of 2024. So that's that. That's kind of like what the Music Mondays plate is looking like this week as far as that goes. And then I think we're gonna have a little bit of a discussion topic tonight, and then we'll roll into some reactions and reviews. So, that's your weekly recap. That's what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. But many of you know the drill into what I'm about to say. But Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, designers, media personalities, people that want to do short form and long form media, things like that. So if you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team, you're interested in any of our roles, we have a role guide on our YouTube channel where I kind of break down each of those roles and really detail like what you'll be doing as far as Music Mondays goes, your content and things like that. But again, Music Mondays is recruiting, so definitely get in contact with us if that's something you're interested in. If you want to find out more about the Music Mondays staff team, definitely send us an email or a DM. We'll be happy to have that conversation with you. So we are on the hunt. We are recruiting. And of course, we're also on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. We have yet to drop a SoundCloud exclusive in 2024. So I'm definitely looking to get the drops back going again this year as far as that goes. So if you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you are interested in getting promoted and posted on Music Mondays for free, definitely get in contact with us and definitely let us know, because we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. Of course, we're only interested in the unreleased version of your track. So if it's already been released anywhere, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for unreleased exclusive tracks to host on the Music Monday SoundCloud page. And then, of course, you can feel free to do whatever else you want with the release, right? You want to put it on all platforms after, you want to do X, Y, or Z with it after, that's fine too. But we're only interested in the SoundCloud exclusive. So again, if you'd like to have a conversation about that, definitely get in contact with us, and we'll be happy to have a little talk for sure. But as far as SoundCloud exclusives go, we are also on the hunt for YouTube exclusives. So if you have a music video, you have a visual, you have a lyric video that you'd like to release on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of almost 250 subscribers, and have it be promoted for free across all of our socials, definitely let us know and get in contact with us, because we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. Well, because we've hosted, I think, like a good 2 or 3 music videos on the Music Mondays channel, and then I think we're at 50 or 60 SoundCloud exclusives at this point. So yeah, get in contact with us, and we'll be happy to have that conversation for sure. But now that those two things are out of the way, let's have a little chat. So, we're gonna keep it pretty light here this week as far as our discussion segment goes. And I think we're gonna have our first community feedback in 2024. So, for those of you that are new here, what is community feedback? Well, many of you know that we have a lot of discussion segments here on the show. For everything from underground tips and tricks to Music Mondays updates, all sorts of tutorials and, conversational topics and things like that. And we have a pretty hefty schedule for the new year as far as topics go. But what would the community really have if they didn't have a voice? So that's why we really want to hear from the community, and we want to know what you'd like to see here on the Music Mondays podcast as far as topics go and things like that. Because we've pretty much covered everything here from, how to avoid fake playlists, distros, to cover art discussions, to last week's video was top 3 social medias going into 2024, things like that. So if you have a topic that you'd like to see us discuss, definitely let us know, and drop a comment on this video or send us a tweet or anything like that, because we're relatively open, right? Because as I said, we have a pretty stacked 2024 as far as topics go, because I have a lot of stuff that I wanted to really discuss and things like that, and obviously I only speak on the knowledge that I have right now, right? I don't speak on things that I don't know about. So if there's a topic that comes up that you'd like to see us talk about that maybe for instance, I don't know about, but maybe we could bring somebody on the show that also knows about it, You know what I mean? So we're always open to that as well. So definitely give us some feedback, a little bit of suggestions, things like that. Maybe some ideas that you'd like to see us do here on the show. And yeah, we'll definitely be checking people's comments, definitely be checking messages and things like that. Because like I said, we have a laundry list of things that we want to discuss here on the show, and I could really talk for hours about certain things. So we want to balance it out between topics that we're going to discuss regardless, along with topics from the community that they might want to see or learn about or things like that. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly complex. It can be something super simple, like how do I pick cover art, or should I drop an album or not, or X, Y, or Z. I mean, we've covered a lot of these basic things before on the channel, but I'll be happy to rehash them with you as well. So yeah, just let us know. And of course, this will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so definitely drop a comment. And again, let us know what you'd like to see here on the show. Send us a tweet, send us a DM, things like that. We're totally open for it. And let's fucking get it, baby. So I believe that's like community feedback like number 7 or like 8. We've had like a decent amount of community feedbacks, but I only like to do like one a month. Just to check in monthly with the community and see where everybody's at. So that's as far as that goes, my friends. But you guys know the motherfucking drill. But if you don't and you're new here and you're like, oh shit, what's going on? Let's talk. So, it is time, my friends. It is time. So let's talk submissions. Let's talk um reactions, reviews, things like that. So, for those of you that are new here, I pretty much explain this at the start of every single show. But again, if you're new, that's pretty much the reason why I do that. But tweets will always be in the same format every single week, and they'll always read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on January 15th, 2024. Twitch.tv/ZonPlays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. 4-hour show limit. Must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Patreon subscribers submissions are played first week. So, what does all that mean? Why do we click submissions via Twitter? Things like that. So first off, as far as why we collect submissions on Twitter, it's not only where we have our largest following, but threads are pretty easy to run through as far as that goes, because we are a live show, right? So we like to keep things free flow. We don't want to be opening all kinds of links and going through DMs and searching through emails and all this sort of thing, right? So if we can get all of our submissions into one place, it makes the show a lot easier to listen to, and it makes the show a lot more tolerable, right? So that's like the main thing for that. But as far as the format goes, of course, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from music to instrumentals, vocals, photos, art, merch, fashion, YouTube edits, like you name it, man. We've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. So don't fret. Feel free to submit everything and anything here to the Music Mondays podcast. Because, for those of you that are aware, the majority of underground independent artists are multi-talented, right? A lot of people that are engineers are also vocalists. A lot of people that are vocalists are also artists. A lot of people that shoot photos can also do production. There are so many multi-talented people around the scene that I never thought it was a good idea to really kind of just keep it limited to music. So feel free to drop anything under these submission tweets. And of course, 4-hour show limit. Again, we are a weekly live show, so to just keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back and just to relieve a little bit of pressure on the Music Monday staff team, we did implement a 4-hour show limit. Which again, as I say all the time, one could argue that a 4-hour show is still a little bit long, but it's not as long as our 5, 6, 7, 8-hour shows that we used to have. Because those used to be super fucking long. So yeah, no, we've definitely cut it down a bit. And of course, Music Monday submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit, not only to pay respect to pretty much everybody else that submits and waits for their reaction every week, but just to help grow our platform and help spread our message. And of course, you get to network with a bunch of wonderful, talented creators in our community. So, that's pretty much it. The only thing that you gotta know is you pretty much just look for the proper date. So you want to look for the Monday coming up, right? So for instance, you want to look for January 15th, and that's the tweet you have on screen now. So just make sure the dates match, and then you'll be good to go. And then of course submissions are open for about a straight week or so, from Monday to Monday. So if you see the show live, that's pretty much the only indication that submissions are closed. We'll close submissions about a couple hours before the show starts, just to really get a head count and see what we're working with, and make sure nobody kind of cuts the line or has like a live submission and kind of messes up the order and things like that. So we cut it off after literally about 7 days, right? So submissions open tomorrow for next week's episode. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure you follow us on socials, because you'll get the announcement the quickest. But that's about that, my friends. Those are all the details you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast and how to submit. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, feel free to send us a message or a DM or a comment or things like that, and we'll be happy to, again, have that conversation with you. We should be putting out a more detailed guide for the Music Mondays podcast for 2024. I think our 2023 one is still relatively the same, but just to kind of have a refreshed version for 2024 that'll be coming soon as well. Kind of like a more detailed guide, and on how to submit and things like that. And of course, Patreon subscribers' submissions are played first each week. So for those of you that are Patreons, you'll have your submissions played first every single week for the duration that you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon. Of course, every single Music Mondays Patreon has access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which means, again, you have your submissions played first here on the show for all the weeks that you submit that you're pledged to the Patreon. So again, huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patrons, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. And we have quite the plan for you guys, man. Quite the plan. So I'm really excited. But again, that's only one of the goodies that we offer over on the Music Mondays Patreon. So definitely go check out our Patreon if you're interested. Any of our other extended benefits for the community. But that's that. So those are pretty much all the details, my friends. And again, if you have any other questions or concerns or things like that, feel free to send us a message, leave a comment, anything like that. But let's see what we're looking like here for submissions. So I think we're gonna look for our Patreons first, per usual. Okay, we got the homie Jordan. Up in here. And then I don't see any other Patreons at the moment. Yeah, no. Nope. So we're gonna kick off the show with Jordan, and then we'll continue with the rest of the community's submissions. So let's get into it. Loudest, what's good? I hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Welcome on in. So our first submission of the night and our only Music Mondays Patreon of the night, the homie Jordan, a very, very, very talented alternative artist, producer, multi-talented individual. Has had a relatively strong start to 2024. But this week they submitted Sounds Like Madness by Jordan and Mac. Huh. Okay. Wait a second. Let's see what we got here. So this is definitely some new Jordan that we have not seen yet. Hold on. Give it a quick pause. Crank up the quality. Crank up the sounds. Okay. Alright, chat. Let's get into it. Sounds Like Madness by Jordan and Mac. Official music video. Let's go.
And it's trademarked, so don't get any funny ideas.
So what if it sounds like madness? I found my magic, had this idea. Now what I imagine, I can see so graphic. Lucid dream of being hurt forever. My spirit never degrade like it's plastic. Whatever the way, I have to have it. It would seem I won't ever eliminate the source of this madness. I'm moved by force as a habit. I was irate, but now just have to laugh. It's like all I see is reasons not to wait. When time to move on, time to move on. Old names in the trash, old ways won't control my fate. I try to keep the story straight, But you gon' have to piece together some of it, cause my vagueness something great. In this state, it's clear for me today that SLM could benefit from some changes, turning pages. This is only chapter 2, nothing left you could tell him. After he been up and down, seen the axis, all the fucking ranges. Nothing left you could tell him.
Oh shit.
Nothing left you could tell him. Listen, yo, how life goes. You fighting for a fraction of the finish. Interact with bad energy, distraction of the pension. Fishing in my decision, I'm watching my thoughts collide. Metacognition taught me that matters only of mine. But nothing really matters, baby.
Like madness.
So nothing really matters,
Sounds
baby.
like madness.
Yeah, nothing really matters, but listen, yo. How could I blame my people for picking pleasure over pain? Post-traumatic in generations, the product of terrains. With the snakes in the grass where fruits are fresher in the rain. Listen, one more time, ask him, how could I blame my people for picking pleasure over pain? Post-traumatic in generations, product of terrains. With the snakes in the grass where fruits are fresher in the rain.
Damn, I wanted that to keep going, man. I wanted it to keep going. That was crazy. Okay, so this is good. This is good. We have plenty to talk about here. Yo, what's good? Welcome to the stream, homie. I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday. So let's talk here. Let's talk because that was quite the visual, and it has that formula that I think I really love about Jordan and, you know, the whole Make More Creative Junk crew. I think there's something very special about this formula. But we're going to talk about it. So we're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Sounds Like Madness. So, I believe, let me check description. I'm pretty sure Prod Jordan. First of many collabs on the way from these two artists. Prod Jordan. Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, so it is Prod Jordan. Okay, so, much to discuss here. So, let's talk instrumental. Mix. Mix is great. Mix is definitely fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Both vocals sit really nice. Has, like, this nice, like, wide, like theatrical kind of feel to it, but it's still like very chill and compact, which is nice. It has a lot of personality to it, so the mix is fantastic, no doubt. Instrumental Shining Star. And again, another thing on the mix too, like that's not really a shocker from somebody like Jordan, right? I definitely think that's like a relatively common theme that you'll find. Like their mixes are always going to be relatively solid, but you always got to point it out. So, Instrumental Shining Star. I love a lot of the melodies here, but I think the thing that like stuck out the most to me was the structure. The structure was pretty much everything for this. It felt almost like Cypher-like, but not really. It had enough structure to where it didn't feel freestyle-ish. That's kind of like where I get like the Cypher kind of feel to it. So I like the blend of everything. I like how this was structured out a lot. So definitely the structure, but the melodies are for sure a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Fantastic. To be honest with you, no gripes with the vocals either. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing that really like threw me off at all, to be honest with you. Relatively solid, like natural sounding vocals that are just like super cleaned up and like really refreshing. So vocals on point, definitely. No shocker there either. Vocal Shining Star. This one's kind of funny because as I'm listening, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, it's got to be the writing, right? Like it's got to be the writing. But as I'm thinking back on it now, it's definitely the flow and cadence and the overall delivery of these two. Like this is definitely a great duo. I think the description is very telling as well. The first of many collabs on the way from these artists. Yeah, like I like this duo a lot. Um, Jordan's an artist that's like very flexible because we've seen them take on so many like solo styles. So it's not really like a surprise that they work so well with so many other artists. So, kind of like okay, like understandable, but at the same time, this is another duo that I feel like could push Jordan's like rap side, like pure hip hop side a bit more too. So there's like a very like interesting dynamic here. Well, that's kind of why I'm leaning towards like the flow and cadence and deliveries because I almost felt like this was an artist that like pushed Jordan a little bit here to like not like do better or anything like that, but push like their like creative ability. You know what I mean? Because like especially when it comes down to like those IRL studio sessions, and we'll talk about that here in a sec. But those in person sessions are always just filled with like creative juice, if you will. You know what I mean? So, um, with that said, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. I like how these two carried themselves on this track a lot. Definitely. It was a good like intro, you know what I mean? Especially if you've never heard of Jordan or you've never been introduced to Jordan or even Mac, you know what I mean? Cuz I'm pretty sure this is an artist that we have not reacted to here on the show with Jordan. So that'll be Mac's first time here on the show, but um yeah, this is definitely a duo I'm excited to really see go far, to be honest with you. I definitely want to see what they come up with. 100%. So, instrumental, solid, definitely a structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow, cadence, and delivery. Let's talk about the visual. So, like, what can you say, man? Like, this is one of my favorite parts about Jordan's creativity. Is they're not only a self-producing artist, but they kind of go above and beyond with how they work, right? But when it comes to their visuals, they definitely don't lack in this department either. Like last week we had the Apartment Jam number 5 was the one that we watched last week, I believe. You can see it on the recommended like right there. I'm pretty sure that was it, but it was one of them. And something about their visuals and the way that they go about, kind of like pushing that creative line is great. Is really really great. But this one's a little bit more leaning towards like a music video kind of style, right? Obviously as intended. Because things like the Apartment Jam are kind of just like standalone one of ones. But when it comes to like a visual or a music video, Jordan tends to lean into a little bit more of like a different style. So this one, for instance, has a lot more cuts and a lot more post production. I like the format of it as well, right? So like Jordan kind of went with like the time lapse mixed with a little bit of like Michael style of art. So there was like a mix of things here that I really liked, and I think Jordan did extremely well. Um, because it's simple, it's effective, and it's like everything you'd want in a visual you've never seen before. Like it's got this magic to it, and I've always thought that since like their first visual. Like it's got this passion to it, and as long as Jordan like keeps this kind of passion behind their work, they're always gonna push to new 100%. Like, cause this is the kind of shit you want to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, even if you watching the clips, like they're just having fun. You know what I mean? And this is really what it's all about. But if you can actually make like a product out of it that you're proud of or a piece of art, like it's even better. So that's kind of like why I love these. You know what I mean? Um, because you can always like push the bar, right? Like you could always like go, you know, film at different locations or X, Y, or Z, and kind of like like with the Apartment Jam, right? Like kind of switching up, angles and things like that. Jordan can do the same here for their visuals. So I think they're on a good path. I must say, my friends. But Shining Star is definitely the post production. Like, obviously, I love the concept, right? I think the concept of the time lapse is great, but I definitely think putting it all together is really what made this like super super special. So, well done, my friend. Well motherfucking done. Huge shout out to Jordan and Mac. Make sure you go sub to the Make More Creative Junk channel. They're 2 subs away from 30, man. So go show them some love. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They're literally very close to 370, man, about 9 followers away. So go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subaroonies, my friends. We're 4 subs away. I think we're at 246. So go show the channel and these artists some love. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. So go check out the channel. If you like what you see, drop a little sub. And if you already have, like I said, thank you. We appreciate you. But huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. And of course, if you'd like your submissions played first each week here on the show, definitely go check out the Music Mondays Patreon for more details. But let's hop into the community submissions because we have quite the stack here tonight, my friends. We have quite the stack. So, first up is the homie JT. Now, it's been a couple weeks since we heard from JT, and we definitely haven't heard from them in 2024, but a very, very talented alternative vocalist submitted Let Us In. Let's see what we got here. I'm definitely down for the cause. Let's see what JT has been up to. 2023. When did this drop here? December 29th. So literally might as well have been New Year's. So let's get into it. JT, let us in. Let's go.
Thomas Edison. I put spice inside their head and they need medicine. Who that at the door? Not lettuce. I got bread, I got cabbage, I got lettuce. I got money guaranteed, he needs some medicine. I put that barrel to his head and then bitch. He screamed for help, but his buddy's gone. The realization on his face, now that nigga gone. That nigga pussy. I don't smoke, I used to double dutch. That's 2 G's in a Dutch, niggas get the punch line. But it's time to go and run it up. Taxis around the corner, so it's crunch time. And I know niggas in a Pokemon. I'm in the pistols, catch them slipping, get a Pikachu. I need a tissue with some medicine. Through the peephole, knock, let us in. Wait, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pussy niggas, hold on, wait, I need to reload. If I drop the curtains in the rose, and I bless him, did that mean he caught the Holy Ghost? Bless you.
Okay. Let's get it. That was a quick one. I think I clocked in at like a minute and like 24-ish. Something like that. But yeah, man, that was a little bit different than what we're used to from JT, right? I definitely think JT has had like a little bit more of like an alternative style, but this one definitely like really pushed the bar. So let's talk about it. We're talking about 3 things. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Let Us In. So, let's talk instrumental because I just like the instrumental choice overall, especially for what I think JT was going for. So I'm definitely big on the choice itself, but as far as the mix goes, fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that really like stuck out to me that was off, especially for like how hard hitting and gritty this is. The mix is perfect. You know, nothing's really like begging for space or anything like that. Like everything's pretty on point with this mix. No gripes at all. Because like I said, especially for like how hard hitting and like really gritty this is, the mix is solid, 100%. Instrumental Shining Star. Hmm. I love the melody for what it is, right? I definitely think the melody plays like a big part in like this let us in kind of like ethereal, almost like darker tone that this has. But I think the thing that really like put it over the edge for me was the drums. The drums were so well done on this. This producer just did a fantastic job. Everything from drum selection to sound selection, literally everything, man. So yeah, definitely drums, but the melody's a close second. Melody's a close second. But drums are everything in this for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals here. Um, Vocal mix, fantastic to be honest with you. Nothing clashy, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that was a bit off at all. JT's always had like a really solid vocal mix. So again, not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out for sure. Uh, the vocal mix definitely on point. Um, Vocal shining star. Uh, hmm. Now, I I was gonna say writing, but I think thinking back on it now, I think flow and cadence and delivery is really like where this song shines because it has this like turn up, hard hitting factor to it, right? Like it's not supposed to be like a lyrically like sound track. It's definitely like a hard hitting turn up, kind of like go to the gym, um, get up and move kind of track. So I think flow and cadence and delivery was very important to this track's energy. So I'm gonna go with flow cadence and delivery, definitely. I like the way JT sounds on this for sure. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme here. So aesthetics. Quite the cover. Quite the cover. I think the cover really encapsulates the whole like hunting kind of aspect of this track because I definitely feel like JT was going for more like a turn up, hard hitting, like aggressive, attitude filled kind of energy. But the melody and some of like the darker undertones really match this cover. So I like the cover choice a lot. It has that like haunted house kind of feel to it, but it's not like pushing like Halloween like overdone kind of deal. You know what I mean? It has this like haunting feeling to it, but it's not like overdoing it. So I like the choice a lot. Overall theme. So it's a quite obvious theme, right? I mean, definitely a turn up track, definitely a track that's gonna make you want to get up and move, hit the gym, clean the crib. It's definitely one of those like hard hitting, you just blasting the whip alone kind of deals for sure. And I think JT did a really good job kind of encapsulating that and really like letting out that like raw emotion, you know what I mean, that you need to let out for these kinds of projects for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to JT. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. Go show them some love over there. And of course, go show them some love on the Bird app. They're approaching 5.6K on Twitter. So go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers, my friends. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some love. Let's get it. All right, chat. So we finished off with the homie JT. Up next, we got the homie Filter. Now, Filter, a very, very talented alternative vocalist and producer, submitted Foreigns, unfinished. So I assume we got some exclusive unreleased here. Okay. Little unreleased Filter. I'm with it. Let's get into it. All right. Filter, Foreigns, unfinished, exclusive 20s. Premiere. Okay.
For real, I know you don't think I'm legit. I'ma pull up in a foreign little bitch. I'ma tell you all the places can't hit. I know lately I've been acting foolish.
set fake. I'ma make your head bang. Off of 30, make your head bang. I got sticks, bricks, whatever you want. I got shit that you can never find. Yeah, it's cool, I'll leave on the time. It's cool, I'll see you in a month. No, I've been acting crazy, I've been acting wavy, I've been never with you. When I say I'm for real, I know you don't think I'm legit. I'ma pull up in a foreign little bitch. I'ma tell you all the places can't hit. I know lately I've been acting foolish. I've been trying to get my mind out of my bullshit. It's soothing. In my mind I'm trying to melt this shit that you say is therapeutic.
Okay. Filter pushing limits again.
Filter.
Well done. Well done. What a good blend of sounds there. Like, what a good blend of sounds, man, if we're being totally honest. Like, wow. Okay. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Florence. So, let's talk instrumental. So, Filter's been leaning towards this, like, I don't want to say experimental, because I feel like experimental is like a little bit of like a broad term, but it's definitely like leaning towards like genre pushing and like very like an alternative like style for sure. Um, and I think the instrumental definitely describes that. Definitely describes that. So let's talk mix. Fantastic mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Not really a shocker. Hard hitting drums really has this like crispiness to it as well. Like Filter's instrumentals have been really nuts. Like really nuts lately, especially like heading into like this like first couple of like weeks of the Music Money's podcast. Really fucking crazy. But everything's solid. Everything from sound selection, nothing clashing to overbearing, vocals sit nice. Nothing that really like struck me as off. But again, not really a shocker. This is definitely somebody who's had like a really solid mix since day one. So instrumental Shining Star. This one's kind of interesting because I feel like the melody for this was really just shining. Really just fucking shining. The drums had a nice rhythm, 100%, and I think the drum selection as far as sounds go was really good as well. But I think the melody really had like the front row seat, if you will, for sure. So definitely the melody, 100% the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, great. Filter has like this wonderful natural voice, so they tend to like really like exploit that and really try to let that shine as much as they can on certain tracks. Not every track though. They are very flexible when it comes to how they use their voice, but on this particular track, they definitely let their natural voice shine and really get pushed, which I think was solid. But yeah, again, drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nicely. Nothing that really like struck me as odd or anything like that. So vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Man, I think we might be 3 for 3 in flow and cadence and delivery. Man. I was gonna say writing, but again, like I just think the flow and cadence and the overall delivery of this track was like what the fuck. Like Filter was really like confident and just kind of feeling themselves on this, and it felt natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel off or anything like that. So definitely flow, cadence, and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Filter has been opting for this more like natural art style, which I definitely like a lot. And of course, this is unreleased, so cover art definitely subject to change. But Filter's had some really solid placeholders here for quite some time. Definitely. Um. So overall theme, right? This is somewhat of like an exotic track as far as lyrical content goes, right? I think Filter talks a lot about, being on a different level than most people, but also kind of like a little bit of that like materialism, not really like filling that void kind of deal. Because even if you do have like a lot of like success in life, no matter what you do, I definitely don't think that can be filled with material things, right? I definitely think a lot of the priceless things in life can't be bought with money. But there is also this dynamic of like, you also have to be at a certain level to even get those kind of things, right? Like you wouldn't even really know what that's like until you've actually been there. So this is very kind of like you could take this track in a couple different ways, but this is one of those tracks that at face value doesn't seem that deep, but when you really start to like tear it apart, I definitely think there's like a very interesting meaning when it comes down to this track. But with that said, a huge shout out to Filter. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, and of course, make sure you follow Filter on Twitter. They are literally 2 follows away from 40. So go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available there, man. So go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So we left off with Homie Filter, and up next is No Face Rapper. I think this is the first time submitting artists, I'm not gonna lie. I think we've featured them on SoundCloud Sunday once or twice, but this is definitely one of their first submissions, I believe. If not, it's been a while since they've submitted, that's for sure. But regardless, they submitted a track titled Blame Full Monk. Okay. Prod by Full Monk. Alright, let's pop this open a new tab. Well, let's see what we got here. Alright. Well, let's see. When did this drop? A little bit of lyrics and descriptions too. January 11th. This literally dropped 4 days ago. Super new. Let's get into it. No Face Rapper, Blameful Monk. Let's go. Let's get it. Foul Monk.
For the 8-car pile-ups. I strategize so I can control the outcome. We the foulest, but don't you ever foul us. PSA, y'all should blame Foul Monk. He the reason for the 8-car pile-ups. I strategize so I can control the outcome. We the foulest, but don't you ever foul us. For your plans with spores from lands I conquer. Oil and sand, I'm slick and gritty in this all form. Any of you barking, it's simply not important. Woodbridge, Virginia looking pretty in the darkness. Pennies for my thoughts, no, that ain't gon' cut it. It ain't gon' suit me. The Gundam is custom. You tryna stop me? Show me what you could muster. I heard rappers whining, and so I'm becoming ill. Trouble coming, dumping lyrics out. My style is 101. You here for clout? Peer into the crowd, the seer searing now. Chefing skills uncanny, don't know fear or doubt. At least in this moment, every preposition potent. What I illustrate could really be your favorite shonen. Dreadlock Shogun, building up the fortune. You should do your research, please check the sources. Okay, PSA, y'all should blame Foul Monk. We the reason for the 8-car pile-ups. I strategize so I can control the outcome. We the foulest, but don't you ever foul us. Foul monks in the beat, I kill it, no question. I got hands, so I build it and hope it's effective. We make music for the real and know they respect it. I've been a dad for like 4 years, so when these rappers copy me, it's not so weird. I'm not a deadbeat dad, I'm really grown here. So if you need a present, father, dry those tears. The unknown known here, feeling like 3-6. Watch the heat rise from the dirt like a phoenix. Record too cold, it ain't gonna be no remix. This joint like a vacay. You ain't know you needed this, man. I'm such a genius.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I strategize so I can control the outcome. We the foulest, but don't you ever foul us. We the foulest, but don't you ever foul us. We the foulest, you looking like a... Hold up.
face. That nigga's beautiful.
That water sample is kind of crazy. That water sample is definitely fucking crazy. All right, chat. Yeah, I don't think we've reacted to No Face Rapper before. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we haven't. So this was fantastic. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Blame Foul Monk. So, man, let's talk instrumental because this is quite the instrumental. But let's talk mix. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that was a bit off. I like the mix on it a lot actually, especially with like the water sample and things like that. Like certain beats, you just like uncover more of the beat as it plays, which is just a sign of like a really solid mix. So mix is fantastic, 100%. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I definitely like the melody a lot, but I think the drums kept up such a nasty rhythm that it's hard to not call those the Shining Star, man. I definitely think the drums were front and center here, no question. So I'm big on the drums for sure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic. No Face Rapper has this really solid natural voice, so they definitely want to exploit that a lot. You know what I mean? And there's like minimal processing on this. Just nice and crisp. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nicely, instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I really noticed that was a bit off. So vocal mix is definitely solid. Vocal Shining Star. I definitely like the flow and cadence a lot, but especially towards the end, I feel like the writing was really insane. Lots of good wordplay here. Lots of solid bars. Definitely writing, for sure. Writing's definitely Shining Star. But flow and cadence and delivery is definitely a close second. 100%. But yeah, we're gonna have to go with writing for sure. Definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. So, interesting art choice here, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's definitely one of those pieces that's more symbolic to No Face Rapper than it is like the song itself, which I like a lot, right? I definitely don't think you need art to always be like relevant to the song. This is definitely like one of those more like personal pieces for sure. That definitely has more relevance to No Face Rapper than it does, like I said, the actual track. But solid choice nonetheless, though. Definitely a memorable piece. That's a fact. That's certainly a fact. But overall theme, Blame Foul Monk. I definitely don't think that there was like a written theme here that No Face Rapper like intended on writing about. This is definitely like a showcase of lyricism and writing skill for sure, no question. But I definitely love the centering around the producer, right? So Proud Foul Monk, but the track is called Blame Foul Monk, and he absolutely killed it. Like literally wrote the shit out of this and just performed it like a monster for sure, for sure. So if there was any like simple meaning, I definitely like the big shout out to Foul Monk and really showing them love as well. So I feel like the track was definitely like more, again, like I said, a lyrical showcase and showing off their writing skill for sure. And again, the flowing cadence and delivery was definitely a close second, but writing was just crazy on this, definitely. So well done, well done. And of course, make sure you go show No Face Rapper some love on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you follow No Face Rapper on Twitter. There are 5 followers away from 980, so go show them some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subroonies, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episode, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. Let's get it, baby. And if you already have, per usual, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. So we left off with the homie No Face Rapper, and up next we have a first-time submitting artist, Tilburg. Neo-prog rock band Tilburg. M. Hopkins keyboardist, joins forces with Dutch fusion guitarist. Okay. So we got a little prog rock here. Okay, Tilburg, I see you. Alright, so first-time submitting artist, Tilburg. They submitted The Whale. Let's see what we got here. I am down for the cause. I'm definitely down for the cause. Okay, so this is from their EP, Turning Time, and they submitted track number 3, The Whale. Alright, let's get into it. First time submitting artist, Tilburg, The Whale. Little prog rock. Okay. Wow. Well done. That was quite the instrumental, man. That was quite the instrumental. Um, let's break it down because I got some thoughts about this one. That's for sure. Okay. So, um, obviously no vocals here, so we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're talking about the overall theme of the whale. Um, hmm. All right. So let's start instrumental. Mix is fantastic. Definitely. Like nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Especially with how much is going on in this track. I don't want to understate how well this is mixed. Sometimes getting these live styles of instrumentals to sound like super consistent is sometimes a bitch, you know what I mean? Especially if you're doing it yourself. So the mix is absolutely fantastic on this. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Drums are solid, sound selection solid, nice and even. Nothing that really stuck out to me that was off at all. So the mix is great. Instrumental Shining Star. Clocking in at 447. I think the number one thing that I liked about this was the fact that the structure wasn't repetitive and the structure actually kept progressing, right? You were getting more out of the song, but still like understanding where the song was going sound wise. So I'm definitely big on the structure for this for sure. The structure had to be good, especially for like these longer tracks. For those of you that watch the Music Mondays podcast a lot, you've definitely heard me talk about that before. So yeah, no, structure is great here, 100%. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk theme. So this is track 3 off of the Turning Time EP. Um, aesthetics. Tilburg Turning Time. I love the photo that was used. I love the simplicity of it, and I like the fonts. To be honest with you, aesthetics on point. I think, to be honest, like definitely EP worthy, and I like the simple direction, and the photo feels appropriate for tracks like The Whale. So I definitely feel like this was like a good direction, 100%. I like the simple approach. Overall theme, The Whale. This could really be any number of things, right? Like as a producer, you kind of have a little bit more leeway on what you call your tracks, right? Because a lot of your tracks can be influenced from like a number of things, right? Like for instance, my tracks are um all sorts of names, to be honest with you, and most prods kind of take that inspiration from like inside themselves. So maybe the whale could be significant to Tilburg and really like what story they're trying to tell on Turning Time. It definitely felt like a very large kind of epic sort of track sound wise. So I definitely agree that the whale was like a good title, but I would have I don't know, like it's a very interesting kind of title here for sure, but definitely has more significance to Tilburg than it does the listener. But the listener is up to perceiving it however they want, right? So but with that said, huge shout out to Tilburg, man. Well done. Make sure you go show some love to them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go show some love to them on Twitter. They're 10 followers away from 950, so go show them some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff available over there, man. So go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. And if you have, thank you. We appreciate you. So, let's see here. Up next, we have another first-time submitting artist by the name of Hasi Flames. Still changing the world one song at a time. Hasi Flames. I believe they've made SoundCloud Sunday before, but I don't think we've ever reacted to them here on the show. Or if we have, it was a while ago. Definitely been a minute, but Hasi Flames submitted Murder She Wrote. So let's see what we got here. I am definitely down. Let's see. 232, December 30th, 2023. Let's get into it. Hossie Flames, Murder She Wrote. Let's go.
Murder, yeah. Murder she wrote, and you know black boy they culprits. Did it to mommy and all of my homies feet eat. Told them the minute I step in, I go bum shit, kaboom. Grenade, missiles, nukes, oh God, what's this problem? I give it to them like shit, you be saying, you know, one piece. Wahala. Respect the game and learn what time gives. Reality check, you know, if you buy skills. Yeah, I talk so rich, my focus on your rig. I want to tell me spank the ass in public. Random, but I said it's stick cause I don't foresee it. Put my heart in every song, not surgery. Yeah, but the cardio with all of this rapping. Flex, flex, brother, what's this? Yeah, say, popping tags, Benny love his pass. My homie got it bands and he threw something in my hands. And when money talk, then the body make pen. She sabi suck, make my pipi go fam. I be the cat, get the 9 life snitch pet. Extra, extra, celebrate like end of year. Christmas party, fireworks when we body to body. It's not be hobby in the studio, me, I'm thinking money. Or changing lives like a pastor always does a service. Yeah, the cuts, like at the first day, the mic is bleeding. It's got a body, no carbon copy, you get it? Man of one, son of man, the we don't perish. What did I mean? We don't die, you inherit. These memories and these rhymes you gon' cherish. Yeah, yeah. Brother, what's this? Yeah, popping tags, a gun and love is past. My homie got it bands and he threw some in my hands. All that shit wrote, and you know black boy they culprit. Did this some mommy and all of my homies feet eat. Told them the minute I step in, I go bum shit. Grenade, missiles, nukes, oh God, what is all this problem? I give it to them like shit, you be saying you know one piece. Respect the game and learn what time gives. Reality check, you know if you buy skills. I talk so rich, my focus on your rig. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I like the blend of styles there. I really like the blend of styles there, 100%. Wow. All right. Much to talk about here, man. Much to talk about. All right. So, we're going to talk about 3 things. We're going to talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and we're talk about the overall theme of Murder, She Wrote. So, let's talk, instrumental. I like the choice a lot. It has this like either like New York or like UK kind of drill feel, but it still has that like trap element to it as well. So it's a good like blend of styles. So I like the instrumental choice a lot. Let's talk mix. Mix is very solid. Very, very solid, especially the drums. Sound selection is great. Vocals sit nicely, instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. Definitely no gripes. With the instrumental mix whatsoever. I'm definitely big on this a lot. 100%. Instrumental shining star. You know, I was gonna say the melody, but the drums are way too good. Like, especially the slides and like the drum selection for sure. Like, it was just like, come on. So, definitely the drums, but the melody's a close second. Definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. I think they have like a really solid natural voice. So again, there's like a minimal processing on this. It's not like overly engineered or anything like that. It's definitely not overdone. And again, vocals sit nicely, instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Definitely no gripes. Definitely no gripes at all. Everything fit perfect. Thinking back on it, yeah. So vocal mix definitely solid. Vocal shining star is kind of interesting, right? I was leaning towards writing at first, but I definitely think flow and cadence and delivery was superior by the end of the song for sure. Just because it had this like rhythm to it, and you were like, okay, like you were invested by the end of the song 100%. So flow and cadence and delivery definitely topped everything off for me for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Theme. So, aesthetics. Murder She Wrote. Really solid art. If I'm being like really honest with you, like really solid art. Like nothing I would really change about this at all. Like especially for a single, like this is really well done. I've always been a fan of like the IRL direction when it comes to art, but this one in particular has like a little bit of post processing. You have the barcode in the top left, Murder She Wrote, in the top left as well. And even if so, it's like a minimal editing. So yeah, no, perfect single art, and I definitely like the aesthetic direction for sure. Overall theme. Now, I definitely don't think that there was like a super clear overall theme. I think Murder She Wrote, like the title itself, sort of came from the melody. It has this like classical kind of like old school like 1920s 1930s kind of like gangster feel almost, you know, like Al Capone kind of era. So I definitely feel like that's where the title came from, right? I definitely think that there was a couple bars that obviously inspired the title, but overall this is definitely more of a lyrical showcase and a show up of writing ability 100%, and I definitely think Hasi did a good job, man. So well done, my friend, well done. Make sure you go show Hasi some love on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go show him some love on the Bird app, my friends. They are 5 followers away from 860, so go show him some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers. So go sub the channel if you haven't, and go show these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. So, we left off with the homie Hasi. Up next, we have Nikki, aka Tired Runaway. My friends in their newest song, Party by Alan K. Yeah, I don't think we've had Nikki on the show before. So this will definitely be a first time submitting artist. But they submitted Alan K. Party. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So it looks like we got 3 heads on here. Osway and Kevin J Beats along with Alan K. Alright, let's get into it. Party. Lego.
Show up to the party kinda late. I'm a busy guy, ain't got time I can wait. I got a feeling this is fate. Let's smoke a blunt, we get skate. Speed off in the sunset, flying through outer space. Baby, let's run away. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Baby, we gon' fuck it up to the party. Yeah, fuck a one, have a party. Yeah, fuck before I have a Rari. Hey, fuck a Rari. I'd rather drive my Harley. Yeah, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Fuck a one, have a party. Yeah, fuck a one, have a party. Hey, fuck you if you doubted me. Up on top the balcony. Praying for myself, but I'm not allowed to be. Pray for others. I'ma come back and return. Fuck it, let it burn. Taking these turns. What do you think about? What can you live without? Loving it, pushing and shoving it. Done with the boy, got swear that I'm done with it. She took my heart and I've been on the run for it. But I know that bitch is gone. Showed her the shit that I bought her. Daddy, but I'm not a father. Told her that she gotta want her. But I don't think that she gone. Fuck you, ain't nothing, I'm a goner. She hid away like Tijuana. I'm playing for the kids, she wanna party. Hop in the coupe with the Cardi. We in bed, she naughty. Pray to God, Lordy. But she only listen to Cardi. She only dipping them parties. Fuck you mean? It's a party on the scene. What you mean? Honor is a lean. It's a party. Party. It's a party. It's a party. Yeah. I on the way.
Okay. I see the vision. I see the vision. All right. All right. I'm down. Let's break it down, chat. Let's break it down. Let's see what we got here. So, we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, we'll talk about vocals, and we'll talk about the overall theme of Party. Definitely a relatively simple theme for sure. But let's talk instrumental. So, mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I really noticed that was like a bit off-putting to me at all. Yeah, especially for like how hard-hitting these drums are and how melodic the vocals are. I definitely think everything has like its own space. So there's nothing I really had any gripes with at all when it comes down to the instrumental mix for sure. Instrumental Shining Star. I like the melody, but I feel like the drums definitely took the cake here for me. I definitely feel like the drums were like pretty front and center. Hard hitting enough, but it had like enough grit in there and enough mud to like really like keep the hard hitting up. So and the sound selection was really solid too. So definitely the drums, for sure, definitely the drums. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals here. Vocal mix. Again, super solid, definitely right where it needs to be. Especially for like how melodic these are and like how far Alan kind of pushed this track. So I definitely think the vocal mix is definitely right where it needs to be. Super level, nothing clashing, nothing that really like stuck out to me that was a bit off at all. Again, drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Yeah, no. Thinking back on it, nothing that was like overly done, you know? Very solid. Very, very solid. Vocal Shining Star. Probably the hook, to be honest with you. I was gonna say flow and cadence and delivery, but I think the hook is really where a first time listener is really gonna like see the vision and like, you know, it's catchy, it has a lot of energy to it. So I feel like the hook is really what's gonna make the most impact, to be honest with you. But flow, cadence, and delivery was definitely a close second, but definitely the hook. Definitely the hook. So instrumental solid. Definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme here. So aesthetics. What an interesting cover, I'm not gonna lie. It has this kind of like early like 2010 kind of feel, but it's also like very original. You know what I mean? Like it has a good blend of styles to it. But I think what's most redeeming is it's very original. It has like this original flavor to it. Definitely single material for sure, and it definitely has that like party vibe to it as well. I like the color choices. Definitely a lot of positives here for sure, no question. So I like the aesthetics choice. Overall theme, relatively simple, right? It's about partying, right? It's about having a good time. It's about kicking back. It's about, you know, a relatively simple topic, but I think Alan kind of pushes the bar into what exactly they talk about when it comes to partying and the lifestyle, if you will. So, relatively obvious theme, but I think Alan did a good job, writing wise for sure. So, well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Alan. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Nikki on Twitter. They are 4 followers away from 900, so go show them some love in the bird. And of course, every artist in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subroonies on the main channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. And of course, if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's say we left off with the homie Nikki, and up next we have the homie Braden. Man, oh man. We missed Braden's submission last week because we ran out of time. But this week, we just so happened to stumble upon it, and they submitted a brand new track titled MIA. Now, Braden, a very, very talented alternative vocalist. This is our first reaction to them in 2024. So this will be cool. This will be very cool. But let's get into it. Braden, MIA, let's go. Okay. I like the melody already. The melody's actually fantastic.
Another bitch always confused, but I know she still got brains. Other girls are way too lame. These girls don't act the same. Some of these girls act too crazy. Luckily, I don't need one to save me. Thought she was a solution, but the way that she move, yeah. I'm trying to keep my cool, yeah. Don't let her fool, yeah. Got stone eyes like Medusa. Either way, so cool, cause she saw you as a loser. My foot down their next time I go for the throat. You being open your feelings, you're broke. I am the one who been staying afloat. I don't have an ego, but I love to gloat. Doing it for myself. My main focus right now is my wealth. Saying you're better than me, you need help. You broke while I got checks in the mail. And I've been done with all the bitches. Lately I've been in the kitchen. Frankly, bitch, I'm water whipping, whoa.
Oh my god.
I feel like something's missing. Love the life that I am living. Lately I've been feeling different, whoa. Still miss her to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Another bitch always confused, but I know she still got brains. Other girls are way too lame. These girls don't act the same. Some of these girls act too crazy. Luckily, I don't need one to save me.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. W. When did this drop? January 9th. W. Love the outro. Alright. Let's break it down. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of MIA. Let's talk instrumental here. Wow. I love the choice. Right off rip, I just want to say that. I love the choice. But the mix, fantastic. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Drums are solid, sound selection solid. Vocals sit nice. I definitely think this prod did a good job with this. There's a very like specific sound selection you need for these kinds of instrumentals, and I definitely think this prod like 100% nailed it for sure. So instrumental mix solid, no question. Instrumental shining star. I'm probably gonna go say the melody, because like within like the first 3 seconds, like I knew I was really gonna like this melody. So definitely the melody, to be honest with you. But drums are a close second, and I like the structure too. But the melodies here were just fantastic, just fantastic. The instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Let's talk vocals. Again, Braden's an artist who has always had like their vocals on lock and how they want to sound and how they like to sound and things like that. So kind of like not a shocker that this vocal mix is relatively fucking solid. So yeah, not a surprise whatsoever. But again, nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nicely for sure. Yeah, no gripes with this either. Definitely no gripes. But again, like I said, this is an artist that, you know, you're kind of used to that by now, but you always want to point it out, you know? Vocal shining star. Man. I was gonna say writing. Writing had me in like the first half, but then when I started to like really think about the flow and cadence and the delivery, oh hell no. This is like a Braden like leveled up almost, you know what I mean? Like this is a very like skilled vocalist right here, but when it comes down to like a new year, new tracks, kind of new everything, you can kind of tell that Braden's really pushing the limits here and really trying to sharpen their sword, so to speak, right? So definitely flow, cadence, and delivery, and writing's definitely a close second for sure. Um, so let's talk theme, aesthetics. Braden switched it up. Braden has switched it up again, and I have a feeling they're gonna keep switching it up for the rest of the year and probably the future. Um, this was an artist that was super consistent with their art at one point, but decided to switch it up, which I think is still a W, right? I don't think you need to have consistent art, but Braden's kind of going in a more IRL real art direction now, and this is definitely one where I feel like the melody absolutely matches the aesthetics. Like for some reason, the melody just completely matches the aesthetics. I don't know why, but it has this like late night dreamy stars, just ethereal kind of feel to it. So I feel like this one like perfectly fucking nailed it. No question to me. Like, no question. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, MIA. I wouldn't say that Braden like directly speaks about going MIA or being MIA, but this is definitely like one of those songs that has a lot of like subject matter about like just like not disappearing, but like longing for things outside of like your circle, right? So like to talk about LA or to talk about, people not having what you do or this, that, and a third. So like it feels like one of those like distancing yourself kind of tracks from like certain people and like certain aspects of life and moving on to like a better things, but also realizing that you have to like kind of go ghost for a little while, in order to like work on yourself and other things. So again, this song could have like a more deeper meaning, but I think Braden did a really good job kind of balancing out everything in here lyrically. So well done. Well done. Huge shout out to Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. There are 2 followers away from 60, man. Go get Braden to 60 on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already been. We're like 4 subs away from 250, so go show the channel, go show these artists some love, and if you already have, thank you, because we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go show these artists some love. Let's get it, baby. So let's see here, chat. We left off with the homie Braden, and up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. They had a stellar submission last week with some stop motion editing and things like that. So I was very impressed with Offspring as of late. So I have a feeling it's going to be a very good 2024 for Offspring Mysterious. So, one thing you need to know about Offspring Mysterious is they're obviously a very, very talented producer, but a multi-talented artist. Everything from editing to filming to, again, production, writing, designing, all sorts of things. But this week they submitted music art, Nature's Harmony Interlude. Let's see what we got here. Let's pop it open a new tab. And hit it with a little pause. Hit it with a little volume. Get a little quality. Go like this. Alright, let's get into it. Music art, Nature's Harmony Interlude, Offspring Mysterious. Oh shit. No way. Uh-huh. Oh, shit. I had fun making this video. Let's get it, Offspring. Actual gold. Actual gold. Even the outro, too. The outro was gold, too, man. Let's go. This one's gotta be... Oh, wow, this is from 9 months ago? 9 months ago is crazy. I was not expecting 9 months ago. I definitely was not expecting 9 months ago. Good lord. Okay. Okay. So, let's talk about it, man. Alright, so we're going to talk about two things here. We're talking about the instrumental, and we're going to talk about the addition of music art, Nature's Harmony Interlude. Let's talk instrumental, because Offspring is an artist that, again, and more importantly, a producer, that has always had a relatively consistent mix, right? Super level, super even, nothing like super clashy or overbearing. Nothing that really like sticks out. A lot of their mixes are very solid when it comes to their instrumentals. So that right off rip is definitely a W for sure. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I was gonna say melody. Right? But the drums, and more importantly, like the sound selection is very solid. Offspring has a very interesting sound selection when it comes to the majority of their instrumentals, especially some of their earlier works. Their sound selection is very much on point for sure. So definitely the drums for me. 100%. 100%. So let's talk music art. I definitely think the shining star here, especially clocking in at 236, is the concept. I like the overall concept of this one. And like Offspring said in chat, they had fun making this. So that's what I like to hear, right? Is like you had fun making this, and naturally, even before you said that, I like this concept to begin with, right? Like as soon as you started like orchestrating, like I knew what we were in for. So I was big on the concept in general. So that's what I love about this is Offspring is never like short of ideas because they're always having fun doing what they do, right? So again, music art has this great dynamic of also like being a supporting visual for a track, but also furthering Offspring Mysterious and the walking onslaughts kind of concept, right? But this one's Shining Star, without a doubt, is I like some of the post processing, right? I like some of the post editing for sure. But I think the overall concept of this is really solid. Really, really solid. And again, this is something that you could film in like literally a night's span, and then just, spend the next day editing and whatnot. You know what I mean? So I think Offspring's concept here was really, really fucking solid. And well done. Well done. Especially the outro too. But I can't believe this was 9 months ago and we hadn't seen like this one yet. We hadn't seen this one yet. Fantastic, man. Fucking fantastic. Yeah, so instrumental Shining Star, definitely the drums. Music art Shining Star, definitely the concepts. I like the whole concept and I like the execution a lot. So well done. Huge shout out to Offspring Series. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Make sure you go sub to Offspring's channel. They are 2 subs away from 140, so go show them some love in the bird. Or no, I'm sorry, on YouTube. But definitely go show them some love in the bird on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 930, so go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 sub-roonies on the main channel, so go show these artists and the main channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff, man. So go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love. Let's get it, baby. So, well done, Offspring. Well done. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're about halfway through the show, so you guys know the drill. We are gonna take a quick commercial break, so I'm gonna need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, go get a drink, go get a snack, go walk the dog, go do whatever you need to do, and when we return, we'll hop right back into our community submissions. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, in the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 156. We'll be right back. gentlemen, welcome back to the Music One Hits podcast. I'm your host, Slate. Hope we had a good break, but we got a couple submissions to get through, my friends. So, let's hop right back into things. All right, so up next would be the homie Lord Seven, but Big Seven, you actually submitted this track before. We've already reacted to Stars, so feel free to resubmit next week with anything that we haven't reacted to on the show, and we'll be happy to dive in 100%. So after that would be the homie Jordan, but of course Jordan's a Music Money's Patreon, so we already reacted to Jordan earlier in the show. Huge shout out to Jordan. Definitely watch back this rebroadcast and go show Jordan some love. But finally, up next we have the homie Yules. It's been a while since we heard from Yules. It's been, man, sometime in 2023. It's definitely been some time. So let's see what Yules has for us. A very, very talented alternative vocalist submitted The Bends. Let's see what we got here. Pop this open a new tab. 14 days ago. Let's get it. Let's see what we got here. Yules, The Bends. Let's see. Okay. Shit. Nice long outro as well. Really solid fade out. I like that fade out a lot, man. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break this one down. We are gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of The Bends. So, instrumental. This is a really solid, like, alternative, almost like trap yet like experimental kind of instrumental. It leans in a couple directions, but it sounds super cohesive. Like, it sounds really fucking solid. So right off the bat, sound selection's like excellent in this. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Drums hit really nice. Vocals sit nice. Nothing that like really throws me off during this track at all, to be honest with you. I'm definitely big on the instrumental mix, 100%. Yeah, no gripes, to be honest. Instrumental Shining Star, I kind of want to say the drums. I feel like the drums on this were super prominent and had a lot of like personality. like this fucking instrumental is very special, but I feel like the drums kind of were like super front and center here. So um, definitely the drums, 100%. Um, but let's talk vocals. So this is actually mixed by 63, who's also a Music Money staff designer. And they also did the art. So well done. But the vocal mix is fantastic. 63 did a really good job, to be honest with you. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that really like threw me off at all, especially for Yules' style. They tend to like their vocals a little bit more processed. And I think 60 really like hits the mark when it comes to their sound. I definitely think that's an engineer that Yule should totally be working with a lot, for sure, just because of the dynamic. I think 60 just really like hits that sound in like a proper way, in a way that it needs to be hit, for sure. So vocal mix is fantastic, and again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely, and vocals sit really good on the instrumental, for sure. Um, vocal Shining Star. Um, there's a couple different directions you could really go with this, right? Flow and cadence is up there. I think flow and cadence definitely deserves to be talked about. Um, I think writing's up there for sure. But for me, I think writing definitely takes the cake, just because it has so much substance and it feels like a new year kind of track, you know. It's fresh, it's you know, it's got a little like attitude to it as well, so um definitely the writing. Definitely the writing, 100%. But flow and cadence and delivery was like a good close second. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing, the sock theme. So 60 actually did this art as well, which is super fantastic, super fantastic. It has this direction of like this like watercolor kind of style, but you can tell it's a little bit deeper than that. You know, it's one of those covers, like the more you look at it, the more you kind of see, and yeah, I definitely like this direction a lot, and especially with like the font down below, it has this like classical feel to it, almost like 90s somewhat. So aesthetics on point, 100%. Overall theme, um, well, I mean, obviously, like the bends is you know, um, all on the wordplay here, right? Especially within um, like the first couple of bars, right? So like the bends was like an easy kind of track title, 100%. Definitely just made sense, like without a doubt. But I don't think this was written with like an overall kind of theme process. I definitely think this was like a lyrical showcase and like a show off of writing ability, for sure. Um, this is one of the more like well written Yules tracks that I've heard here on the show, without a doubt. That's what I really like about this one. This one definitely like seems like Yules like really took their time and really wanted to like make an impact with this. But I feel like the lyrics, the delivery, the whole nine, like everything was like on point here. So I don't think that there really needed to be like a super theme for it, but I definitely think it was a great lyrical showcase, and Yules did a really good job on writing, for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Yules. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They're one follower away from 330. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're 6 followers away from 710. So go show them some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe, man. I think we're about 4 subscribers away from 250. I think we're at like 246 or something like that. So we'll show us some love over there, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, boost segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go show the channel and these artists some motherfucking love. Okay, so we left off with the homie Yules, and up next we have the Single Digits, a very talented alternative crew, punk rock solo project. So the Single Digits had their first submission last week, and it was absolutely stellar. But this week they're coming back again. Appreciate the show. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for your submission. Here's the first track off our first album, a personal favorite. First track off our first album is pretty crazy. I won't lie to you. Pretty crazy. Let's go YouTube. Intro, United States of Us versus Them. So we got a little topic channel love here. All right, let's get into it, and let's see what we got here. The single digits intro / United States of Us versus Them. The panning was crazy. Okay.
United States of Us versus Them. Board up the doors and shut out the damned. How do we resolve what's right and what's wrong? But what is so wrong with me? Content to repeat history, yeah. Social test of social tragedy. We need to find our common light to shine on our humanity.
Instrumental is so crazy. What an outro. Holy shit. Okay. Alright. Much to talk about here, chat. Much to talk about because what the fuck? Alright, so let's reference their submission again. Here's the first track off our first album, our personal favorite. So this one is kind of a gem here. Live on YouTube December 1st of 2022. So it's gonna be approaching 2 years old. That's kind of why I noticed a couple things, but we'll talk about it as we. But we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of United States of Us versus Them. I say that 10 times fast for real. So yeah, let's talk instrumental. Fantastic. Fucking fantastic. Like, what an instrumental. Mix is just absolutely stellar. Especially as I said last time and all the time with a lot of these kinds of live style instrumentals. Sometimes they can be a bitch to mix, like a real bitch to mix. So that's the thing with these kinds of styles here is it's not exactly easy to achieve this quality of mix. That's one thing I definitely want to point out for sure. But mix is very solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that was off. Especially for being 2 years old, I definitely don't see a major like jump in quality at all. You know, because usually when you go back in people's like earlier music, you can see like a significant jump in quality. But not here, not here. So instrumental, mix definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star, clocking in at 318. Um, it's got to be structured. Got to be structured. I was gonna say drums just because the drums and the drum patterns are actually really nuts, but it's got to be the structure, man. It builds up when it needs to, it drops when it needs to, it has personality. Definitely the structure. Definitely the structure for sure. Um, let's talk vocals. Um, vocal mix. This is where you could tell it's a little bit older because as the single digits started releasing more and more music, I found that their more recent drops are even better quality. Not that this quality of vocal mixing is like crazy different, but that's what's cool about looking back on a lot of the older tracks from submissions, right? Is you could see the progress. And that's what's good is the single digits had like significant process over the last couple drops, right? As far as like vocal mixing goes, making their vocals more crispier, things like that. So with that in mind, right, with this track being 2 years old in mind, I definitely want to say the vocal mix is solid. It has a little bit more grit um than the newer sound, but I don't think that's like exactly a bad thing, right? Um but again, super solid, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Everything cuts through nicely, vocals sit nice. Nothing I would like ultimately change, especially with this being 2 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely really great for the time that it came out, especially being like technically like the first song. You know, so um, vocal mix definitely on point. Um, the vocal shining star. Mm, um, writing solid, but I think flow and cadence and delivery of everything was like really like the cherry on top of everything for sure. Just because again, we still have that passion, we still have that honesty, we still have that like rawness of their vocals. So definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Writing is definitely a close second, but flow and cadence and delivery definitely took the cake for me. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely a structure. A vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics. Single digits opted to use kind of like a consistent logo for all of their drops, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Especially for like side projects, right? Because I'm pretty sure their bio is a solo project. You know what I mean? So they probably have other aliases that they make music under. So they probably just didn't want to, go all out with like cover arts if they weren't gonna pursue a lot with the single digits. But it's clear that they have. You know what I mean? So I think one thing that is redeeming about this is you're going to see the logo a lot throughout all their drops, so it's like impossible to not remember their logo. So aesthetics, while rather simplistic, definitely a solid choice for sure. Overall theme: United States of Us versus Them. Um, Definitely more of like an anti kind of government track, which I'm totally down for, right? I definitely like the message here. Like it's a very honest message, and there wasn't anything that was like too crazy or like unknown. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of this has been talked about, but I think when people talk about it more, it means more, right? Because you're putting that message out in your kind of fashion in your kind of way. You know what I mean? So that's why music and art and all sorts of creativity is like a really great thing because you can use your platform to like push certain messages that are for the good, right? And this is a very like anti-government, anti-corruption, anti kind of establishment kind of track, and I think the single digits does that really well. So well done, well done. With that said, make sure you go sub to the Single Digits topic channel on YouTube, and of course, make sure you go show the Single Digits some love on Twitter. They're 2 follows away from 400. That's a really solid milestone, actually. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. The podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available, man. So go show the channel these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we left off with the homie Single Digits, and up next we have the homie Bloodcat. And Bloodcat, kicking off the new year with a classic drop here. So Bloodcat, a super talented alternative vocalist, submitted Low on Fuel, Far From Home from 2015. The song is about 9 years old. Holy shit. Let's see what the blast from the past from Bloodcat. Wow. Okay, so it's a 7-track project. Okay. Excellent. That's fire. Okay. So let's get into it. Low on Fuel, Far From Home, Bloodcat. Okay.
You make sleeping alone sound like trying to pull stars out of the sky with leather gloves and broken thumbs. I can't do much without my mind becoming your crosswalk. There's no need to stand and wait. The traffic has come to a halt. When I look into your eyes, I see a highway sign. Welcome to infatuation, and my spine realigns automatic association. I can't listen to our song without the sound of your heartbeat playing in the back of my mind again and again. Low on fuel, far from home. Talk of apartments and countless uses for a coffee pot. Curiosity for everything we're not. Lie with me, watch the sky and feel the roundness of the earth. Let this love not die long before its birth.
Oh shit.
Low on fuel, far from home. Suddenly it's 6 a.m. and I feel it in my bones. I feel it in the skin. Sweat and shame and unrelentless sin. Can you save me more than once? Cause I know I'll sin again. I was on fire, and you used me to light your cigarette. I'm your liar. I'm the wave on the coast, I'm the inwards vignet. Do I lay the sin out on the table where our bodies once were? Do I confuse the truth with the fable, or do I leave the confusion her?
Holy shit. What a fucking gem this was. Oh my. Wow. Damn. Okay. So that one's really fucking crazy because not only is it just super fucking old, but I didn't know, like even me, right? We've been doing the show since 2022, and Bloodcat has been submitting since like mid or late 2022, and this is the first time that we've seen them like actually tap into this like super rough alternative gritty style. You know, it's obvious that it is 9 years old considering the way it sounds in quality, right? But this is so telling on like how far Bloodcat has come as an artist. This is really fucking crazy to listen. I'm not gonna lie, this is really crazy to listen. But let's break it down, man. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Low on Fuel. Far From Home. Um, well, let's talk instrumental because it's not like out of Bloodcat's realm to really pick instrumentals like this, but I definitely think it's like a more grittier kind of style than we're used to be honest with you. But again, preface this by saying this is almost a decade old, so not really a shocker. But the choice is very interesting, very very interesting. Um, but for the mix itself and like for what it is, it's solid. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about 2015 here. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even making music yet. You know what I mean? I started producing in 2017. You know, I was just a listener back then. So you got to talk about and think about like how limited everything was back then, you know, even just 10 years ago. It's not like 10 years ago is that long, but things have changed. It's a lot easier to make music now. You know what I mean? Like it was easy back then for sure. It's not like FL Studio didn't exist, but now it's like infinitely easier. You know what I mean? Now there's a bunch of tutorials and da 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 da. Now it's a lot easier to like break into the barrier of creating music. But for what this is, the mix is great. To be honest with you, it has a nice gritty tone to it, and I think Bloodcat sounds really solid on this instrumental. So yeah, no, super solid, super super solid. Um, so instrumental mix definitely a W. Instrumental shining star. Um, Probably the melody, if I'm being honest with you. Probably the melody, just because it's the most memorable and catchy, and you're gonna remember that grit if we're being honest. Like definitely the melody. I think drums were a close second, but definitely the melody. Um, let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. It has this like raw kind of feel to it, right? Super gritty. And like even back then it was probably like meant to be like this. I think Bloodcat was going for this more like alternative, almost like grungy, gritty style. And it was definitely achieved. It was definitely achieved for sure. And like you can tell this is like some of the like first recordings that Bloodcat like probably ever did. Low key, you know what I mean? So again, with that in mind, I like the mix on it. You know, it's gritty, it's grungy, it has a little bit of dirt on it. It has this like attitude to it as well. So um definitely big on the vocal mix for sure. Um Vocal Shining Star is 100% the flow, delivery, and cadence. This is one of the more interesting flows and styles as far as vocals go that we've seen Bloodcat kind of use. And of course it kind of makes sense because it's a relatively like older track, right? So they've kind of moved on. They've had new styles and things like that, and you know just sharpen their sword, right? But this one, man, it had this almost like poetic slash kind of like again grunge approach to it. So I think flow, cadence, and delivery was very solid here, very very solid. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flow, cadence, and delivery. Let's talk theme here. So this is from the 7-track EP Low on Fuel, Far From Home, which contains again 7 tracks from 2015. Now the cover is some old school Bloodcat. That's got to be Bloodcat from 2015, I assume, right? So um, W picture, W cover, and taking the simple approach for like just like a throwaway album is like really solid. I like this approach a lot. So no question is that a solid cover. But we reacted to track 3, and overall theme is kind of interesting, right? It definitely has this like alternatives kind of like emotional, very like passionate centered theme. It has something to say. Like I feel like this song was 100% written about a specific situation, about a specific person while doing specific things. You know, and again, much like we talked about earlier in the show, that's what music and art and creating is for, right? Sometimes you just need to get a certain emotions and things out off your chest, and I think that's what Bloodcat did on this track, no doubt in my mind. Um, you know, because it's one of the more like positive things you can do in life, right? Because you could have all these crazy emotions and you know feel a certain way, but if you just let it all out in your art, in your music, and your creating, You know, even if it's something like video games or anything. It can definitely be one of the more healthier ways to deal with a lot of like weird shit in life. But I definitely think Bloodcat did a really good job with that. And you can see the emotion and hear the emotion on display in the vocals. So that's why flow, cadence, and delivery kind of came up to be top tier for me, for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Make sure you go follow Bloodcat on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Bloodcat on Twitter. They are 4 followers away from 10. This is their new Twitter, so go show them some love over there on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subbaroonies. So go sub to the channel, go show these artists some love. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, man. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists and the channel some motherfucking love. Get it, baby. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we left off with the homie Bloodcat, and up next we got the homie Laveries. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Laveries, at least not in 2024. We did a wonderful breakdown of each track from their latest project, but they're back this year in 2024 with Ear Candy. 2024 Backrooms Freestyle. Okay, wait. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Let's see. Season 1, Episode 1. Wait, let's give this a pause. Album out now. Okay, Episode 2 is on the 21st, so we got a little bit of a series going on here with Laveries. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alright, clocking in at 8 minutes. Let's, go a little 720. Let's go full screen. Ear Candy, Backrooms Freestyle, Season 1, Episode 1. Laveries. Go.
In the middle of the field, throwing in the hood like a quarterback.
I love the January calendar.
I think I need me an Ice Spice shower, me a mush.
That's good.
So you know, don't fuck with 12. Type shit. Alright, so on some real shit. This is called Ear Candy ? This is season 1, episode 1. Basically what I'm doing is I'm making a song and y'all get to see my process behind that. Cause I'm done playing. I'm him.
I'm him.
Gotta let them know that I'm him.
Okay.
I'm gonna be on the Billboard charts this year type shit. But I just gotta get some more exposure. My music is there, I promise you. You're gonna hear this shit and it's only gonna get better. But
The way to go.
it's 2024. I've been listening to Cardi.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, all them singles he just dropped.
Yep.
Ready for the motherfucking album. No cap. Ready for him to change music with music, you feel me? But anyways, New Year freestyle. Probably gonna hop on a Cardi beat, so we gonna check something out real quick. In the middle of field.
This is gonna be sick. I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not fucking with this beat. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
Fuck, pick this little sorry ass beat.
You feel me? $15 a month for 5 beats a month. That's some good shit. That shit 20 a piece. I got this shit ain't living okay. Yeah, I got your bitch on this and She got a new room. I got like a big ass mansion and shit. She got like 17 rooms, so you know she got her own room type shit. Yo, I'm fucking with this. Okay, we hopping on this. This was originally an idea, but I didn't want to do that. But I guess we doing that. And we gonna hop into Audacity.
Oh shit.
I don't know shit about nothing for real. I like music, so I make music.
Don't worry, most people don't either.
Here's my headphones. Bought these for like $10 at Big Lots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use this shit, by the way. I got the fucking mic right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this bitch by myself, but I ain't by myself.
You can see on this calendar right here. Sunday, the 14th, and second Sunday of the year.
Hmm?
Ear Candy question mark starts season 1, episode 1. 2024 Backrooms freestyle, some shit like that. Alright, so my neck. Whoa. Fuck am I gonna rap about on this, bro? 2024. Now it's the first freestyle of the year. I'm trying to freestyle too much. I'm doing this shit off the dome right now. I can't even eat rice, but yeah, I need that much taste shit. I know. Okay, now I'm finna get on this beat. Yup. Okay. What's up? I gotta talk to you. Yeah. Okay, that's how I feel on this beat. That's how I spit on this beat. This shit loud as fuck on my ears. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna kill this beat. I'm gonna turn this shit down in a second. Give me like one more, bro. Give me like one more chance. I'm gonna take your bitch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Dude, the behind the scenes vibes are great here.
24, yeah, bitch, I'm finna win. Fuck these hoes and then I grand. I nut on they chin. Chinny chin for like the 3 little piece like shit. I'm fucking tripping, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck, man?
True.
Oh, yeah, bitch, I'm finna win. I fuck these hoes and make them grin and then out on their chin. I'm doing shit right now that you wish that you could've did. But you can't fuck with me, bitch. You know you ain't fucking him. I'm doing shit right now that you wish that you could've did. But you can't fuck with me. I'm freestyling off the top. I don't do this shit too much. I wanna ice bite need me and much. My bitch right now don't give me no head too much.
That's good.
I came to do this shit this year. I'm trying to be on all the charts. I fuck your bitch and brother already. Now she coming to my own. Say she want a piece of me on here. I cannot fucking freestyle, bro. I suck. Think you the shit, but bitch, you ain't even the fart.
Oh no.
Think you the shit, bitch?
No.
You not even the fart. I be going hard.
No.
I'm breaking their hearts like.
I came to do this shit this year. I'm trying to.
The small edits are gold.
I put my heart in on my heart and now I'm getting very far. You think that you the shit, but you ain't even a fart. What the fuck? The fuck? Hey, I'm finna turn up on this beat. I'm finna go stupid. Hey, don't quote me when I speak, but I'm a bitch. I'm finna win. I fuck you hoes and then I grin and then I on they chin. Take your bitch and break her heart and now she crying in my arms. Don't call me when I speak, but I'm the greatest. Everybody say my name, but it sound better when you say it. I'm a to everybody hating. Fuck them all, bitch. Fuck a few more bars for you. Oh shit, man. Oh shit. Fucking bitch. You piece of shit. God damn it, I hate this shit. I'm finna turn over this beat. I'm finna go stupid, yo.
I'm finna go stupid. Bit of lighting. Oh shit, here it is. I was hoping that Lavarius would edit this in.
It's 2024, bitch, I'm finna win. I fuck these hoes and make them grin and then out on their chin. I'm doing shit right now that you wish that you could've did. But you can't fuck with me, bitch, you know you ain't fucking him. I came to do this shit this year. I'm tryna be on all the charts. I took your bitch and broke her heart. I put my heart in on my heart and now I'm getting very far. You think you this shit, but you ain't even a far. What the fuck, ayy? I'm finna turn up on this beat. I'm finna go stupid, ayy. Don't quote me when I speak, but I'm the greatest. Everybody say my name, but it sound better when you say it. And to everybody hating, fuck them all, bitch. But the next episode will definitely be better than this one.
Hey, that's all you gotta do, man, is just get it out there. First one's done. Now it's all about improving. 100%. Bro. Behind the scenes vibes, bro. The question marks. Damn. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's a lot I really like about this. So we're not going to break down the freestyle. We're going to talk about something much more important here. And that's the content in front of us. So, for instance, the concept for a series like this is really fucking smart. And I really wish more artists would do things like this just because the way the internet and social media is centered right now is it's not about talent anymore. There are lots of very, very talented people out there that will never get a chance at shit because they don't put themselves out there. And that's fine. Some people don't want that. But if you're not putting yourself out there and you're like, damn, I'm so talented, like I'm way more talented than this guy and this guy and this guy. But if they're putting more work into their craft, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So this is where your hard work comes in, right? Because it's not shit to make a song, make 500 songs. Anybody can do that. But where's the juice around it? Where's the meat around it, right? This is where you get this kind of content. Because this is amazing for new supporters, and this is what social media favors now, right? Places like TikTok, places like YouTube, places like Instagram, and short form content has almost fully taken over the internet. So people want to see your face. People want to see behind the scenes shit. People will go stream your music all the time. But again, like, to have the best chance at getting in front of a wider audience, content like this is not only fun to make, right? But it's also important to supplement your career, right? Because you just have a much higher chance of people actually discovering you if you're actively putting out a 10-minute fucking vlog style video. Like, it's not that crazy, but people are just too lazy to do it. And that's what I love about this is Laveri's is showing that, like, they really want to, like, push the bar with everything that they do. And I think that this is a perfect way to go about it, right? Because it takes some light editing, sure. You know, some cuts here or there. But this took probably a night to film. You know what I mean? And it's great content. Now you have TikTok content. Now you have this. Now you have that. So when it comes down to this style of content, it doesn't necessarily need to be, like, recording, right? Could be a day in the life. Could be how-tos. Could be anything. But Laveri's kind of went with what they were comfortable with. And it was, you know, their process and what they think would be sick and what they want to show you. That's why I think concepts like this are so fucking important in 2024. Just because, as sad as it is to say, like, the music just isn't enough. You know what I mean? The art isn't enough. You have to, like, show how much you give a fuck about your art. That's really the key now. You know? Because you could say it all you want, but if you're not, like, actively showing how much you care about this shit, nobody's gonna, like, see that passion. You know what I mean? Like, you have to care about yourself first before anybody else is gonna. You know what I mean? Because they'll see Laveri's going hard as shit with this concept, and they're like, man, this guy, like, loves this shit. This guy fucking really, like, wants to push this to the next level. And people want to get behind that. So that's why this is very important. It's not just some, like, you know, some like, vlog shit. You know what I mean? Like, there was effort put into this, and there's a reason why Laveri's wanted to go in this direction. So, with that said, well done. And I'll be looking forward to the second episode for sure. So keep doing this. Keep doing it however you want to do it. You know what I mean? Don't fucking go with your gut, basically. You know what I mean? Go with your gut, for sure. So, well done. Love the concept. Let's fucking get it. Make sure you go sub to Laveri's channel, by the way. They're closing in at 480. About far away, so go show them some love. And, of course, make sure you follow Laveri's on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 120. So go show them some motherfucking love on the bird. And, of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And, of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 250 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff available over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some love. Alright, so I think we have about time for a couple more, or one more. And we got the homie Heavy Metaphors. And it's been some time. It has been some time. Probably about like a month or so since we heard from Heavy Metaphors, but they submitted What We Doing in the Shadows .wave, a sample remix prod Heavy Metaphors. Okay. Pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Boom. Give that a quick pause. Tarek, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy motherfucking Monday. Let's get it, baby. Okay, so let's get it. Heavy Metaphors, first submission of 2024. What We Do in the Shadows. Remix. Brought by Heavy. Let's get it. Let's see what the homies got for us, man. Okay. The vibes are immaculate on this one, my friends. Absolutely immaculate. What is fucking remix, dude? Okay. What's up? Okay. I'm also a big fan of the dog pick. Yeah, no, like aesthetics on point, sample on point. Well done, man. Well done. Okay. All right. Let's break this down. Obviously, no vocals here, so we're gonna talk about two things. We're talk about the instrumental, and we're talk about the overall theme of What We Do in the Shadows. So let's talk instrumental. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums are solid. Sound selection solid. I love the structure. Definitely no gripes with the mix at all, especially the 808s. I think everything was like proper here for sure. Instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Now, I was initially going to say drums just because of the sound selection and like how well they were mixed, but I think the overall structure of this is really solid. Especially Heavy Metaphors, like as a producer who consistently puts out their own music and own instrumentals, right? I love producers who do this, man, and just continue to put out their own music, even though they don't do vocals. That's why I love concepts like this, but it's so important to have like a good structure. You know what I mean? Like you don't want an instrumental going crazy, but you want an instrumental with like a solid structure. You know, it's dropping when it's supposed to, it's rising when it's supposed to. It's always being refreshed, and Heavy did exactly that here for sure. So structure is 100% the shining star, no doubt. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Much like Tarek said in the chat, man, a dog pick, really easy choice. You know? But again, like memes aside, I definitely think the simple IRL picks are always like a good choice, especially if you don't want to go too crazy with cover art. I definitely think the IRL picks are always like a solid choice. No question, man. No question. Especially for a remix. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, what we do in the shadows, definitely has a little bit more of like a meaning to Heavy than it would like the you know listener. But that's one of the perks of releasing music as a producer, right? You kind of get to structure your themes however you want to, you know? And I think more of the theme is in your art and in your titles than people who do vocals. You know what I mean? Because we don't have a voice, so to speak, right? Our instrumentals are the voice. So I think with concepts like this, you know, it's good to have tracks that, you know, mean a lot to you or just kind of are like a spur of the moment kind of title or concept. And you're just like, you know what, that fits and I don't need to tell you why. You know what I mean? So this is definitely one of those that strikes me as more of like a personal title than anything. But well done. Well done, my friend. With that said, make sure you go subscribe to Heavy Metaphors on YouTube. They are 4 subs away from 130. And of course, make sure you follow Heavy Metaphors on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight, man. And make sure you sub to the channel. We are 4 subs away from 250. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love, and if you already have, thank you. But that about does it for episode 156 of the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. Huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed motherfucking love tonight. Huge shout out to everybody, man. You guys are amazing. Tonight's show was actually fucking cooked. So I'm gonna show everybody some love. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, and all that good stuff. Ree, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday. Glad you could make a little ending banger. So yeah, you guys know the drill, man. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through and showed love tonight. Huge shout out to JT, Filter, No Face Rapper, Tilburg, Hossie Flames, Nikki, Braden, Offspring, Seven, Jordan, Yules, The Single Digits, Bloodcat, Laverius, Heavy Metaphors, and everybody else that submitted. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. And again, huge shout out to everybody in the motherfucking chat, man. We had a very active chat tonight. You guys are amazing. These Mondays are getting increasingly better, man. Huge shout out to Lotus. Huge shout out to WLLY, Offspring, Tarek, Ree, and anybody else that lurked and chilled, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. But let's talk. So, expect some major announcements, as I said at the top of the show, for a lot of big Music Mondays projects. Mainly merch, and Cyberfest 2 is really what we're going to be working on. So again, make sure you follow us on socials to stay posted with everything that we have going on at Music Mondays. Your monthly content will continue to stay the same. Workshop Wednesday, Feature Friday, Underground Classics, the monthly, and of course your weekly content will stay the same. SoundCloud Sunday, your written pieces, YouTube uploads, all that good stuff. So again, main thing, make sure you follow Music Mondays on all socials. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Tumblr, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, we're there. So go show us some love. And submissions for next week's episode 157, will be live tomorrow. So again, make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays to stay up to date when submissions are live. And of course, submissions open for SoundCloud Sunday on Wednesday. So, that's about it, my friends. That's about it. And again, of course, you can stream Music Mondays episodes wherever you are on the go. Anchor.fm/allmusicmonday. So, with that said, man, we have a good week ahead of us. But of course, make sure you follow the stream if you haven't already, because we stream like 6 days a week, man. So, we're always live. But, with that said, it's your boy, Dom Slays. Make sure you follow me and all that good stuff down below. Follow the channel if you haven't already. And we'll see you next week for episode 157 of the Music Mondays podcast. Be safe. I love you guys. And I'll see you soon.